Hey everyone, how are you doing? So today we got to talk about a big NVIDIA problem. So I came across this problem just mere days ago, and I was going to launch up Cyberpunk 2077, and my entire system crashed at launch. And I figured, oh, that was odd. Is it my CPU? Something wrong with my GPU? Something wrong with my RAM? Oh gosh, an entire system crash. That's not good. Anyways, so I was like, well, let me try launching it again. And sure enough, at the exact same spot during the loading process, entire system reboots. So I was like, this is not good. Anyways, I Googled Cyberpunk system crash. And sure enough, the first Reddit post I click on from a few days prior to when I searched this, someone else, their Cyberpunk was crashing at load. And I was like, okay, so this is not just me. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And I'm going to launch up Cyberpunk. And then we're going to talk about why this is happening and what are our options right now. And if we open up Event Viewer, we can see that the error has been logged. The system has rebooted without cleanly shutting down first. This error could be because the system stopped responding, crashed, or lost power unexpectedly. And then you've got the bug check. The computer has rebooted from a bug check. And now I'm no Event Viewer genius. And, if it was me trying to figure out what happened and why by going into the logs and these errors, I would be totally lost. But thank goodness for the internet and other people having these problems and figuring out what the source of these problems is. So this is the Reddit post that I first found when I Googled Cyberpunk causing system to reboot. And this user describes the exact same problem we just experienced, which is you start up Cyberpunk, you get through those loading logos and the CD Projekt Redbird, and then the system completely reboots itself every single time. Now, they've edited their original post a few times since, and the solution that they found is if they turn off G-Sync, then they can play Cyberpunk with frame generation. I tried the same thing. I turned off G-Sync and I was able to launch Cyberpunk. I didn't get the crash anymore. Now, this solution has worked great for this user, and they're saying there's no screen tearing. In my case, it was not very good. Having frame generation on and G-Sync off with my specific setup, the motion felt super stuttery, and it was not a great experience. And likewise, turning off frame generation just to have G-Sync on is not ideal either. So, what are your options if you want to use frame generation and G-Sync? Well, you could always roll back your drivers. You can go back to version 566.36. This user is stating that fixed it for them and they can play the game with no problem. Well, if you do that, you're going to be missing out on DLSS 4. You'll have to not use the transformer model. You'll have to switch back to the original DLSS 3.8 frame generation model, which is okay. I guess it's better than nothing. But if you're like me and you really like the new DLSS model and you want to use frame generation and G-Sync, then you're out of luck. This issue is an issue with DLSS 4 frame generation and G-Sync. You can't have both of them working at the same time. That seems to be the case for all 40 series cards, and I'm seeing a lot of people with 50 series cards reporting the exact same thing. Here's another post on the Steam forums. This person in the title saying DLSS frame generation crash. When they try to enable DLSS frame generation, their PC crashes and restarts. And they're asking if anyone else is having this issue. And there are thousands of people having this issue. Here's an article from just 4 hours ago that's already been removed by the moderators of the NVIDIA subreddit for some reason. DLSS 4 frame gen crashing, forcing restart. Even though we can't see the original post, by the title, we know exactly what that problem is. Funny enough, we could see the one reply that this post that's been removed has gotten. And the user states this issue has existed for all 40 series cards since driver 572.16. Crazy how such a major issue has yet to be acknowledged by NVIDIA, which is absolutely true. I think acknowledgement by NVIDIA would go a long way because there are so many of us who are experiencing this problem. I mean, this is, as far as I can tell, every 40 series card and possibly every 50 series card who wants to use DLSS, frame generation, and GSYNC. That's a lot of people. This is not some rare, nuanced issue. NVIDIA has to know about this, and some acknowledgement, I think, would go a long way with the community. You know, saying, hey, there's this issue, we see it, we recognize it, we're trying our darndest to figure out what it is, and we'll keep you informed. That would go a long way. I mean, it's all over NVIDIA's own forums as well. I mean, here, if you just do a quick search, you'll find it. 572.xx system rebooting crashes while frame generation initializes. This is absolutely our problem. And as you can see, this user's got a 4090 with the 572 drivers and Cyberpunk and Star Wars Outlaws, Alan Wake, Indiana Jones. All of these games are having this problem because all of these games have been updated to use DLSS 4 and users want to use G-Sync. This user here thinks that it's only 40 series cards, which they might be right. I have seen, like I said, I've seen some people saying that they've got like a 5080 and they're having this problem. But they say, you know, unfortunately, I don't see NVIDIA fixing it. From their perspective, the 40 series is obsolete and they want you to buy the new cards. I don't know, that could be the case. But here we go. This person has a 5090. Same exact thing happens to me. It doesn't even matter if I turn off frame generation. I play 5 to 10 games in Marvel Rivals or Fragpunk, and my entire computer will restart. That's interesting. So this is, if they turn off frame generation, they still have the same problem. And here's another user pointing out, you know, so nobody at NVIDIA can acknowledge this issue. And that's what I think a lot of users just want, is some acknowledgement that this crazy problem that all of us are experiencing, that's just so obviously easy to recreate, is not even being acknowledged. And that's very, very frustrating. Same problem with Hogwarts Legacy as well. This user reverted back to 566.36 to fix their problems. But unfortunately, all of these workarounds are workarounds. You are sacrificing something. It's unfortunate that we can't use the new DLSS 4 Transformer AI model and G-Sync. Anyways, I could go on forever showing you guys forum post after forum post that describes pretty much the exact same problem. If you want DLSS 4 frame generation and you want G-Sync, your system's gonna reboot itself, which is just crazy that this hasn't even been acknowledged by NVIDIA. And I think that would go a long way, is just some acknowledgement from NVIDIA to us that, hey, we see this problem, we're working on it, and we'll keep you updated. I know that's what I would like to hear, and I know that's what several of other people would like to hear. So anyways, if this is happening to you, you're not alone. Your system's not broken. NVIDIA is crashing your PC.